Hello and welcome to the Canmore Town Council Canada interviews. I'm here today with Javan Mukhtarov. Javan has lived in Canmore for over 10 years and is deeply involved in community life. He currently worked with Settlement Services in the Bow Valley, a program that helps immigrants settle into our communities, and he also works part-time at Save On Foods. These roles give him a frontline view of the challenges that residents face, especially around affordability, housing, and the rising cost of living. For Javan, it's very important that the people who work hard every day to keep Canmore running can also afford to live here full-time. He's running for town council to bring that lived experience and a community-first perspective to local decision-making. Javan, how do you plan to balance Canmore's growth and preserving its small town character and surrounding natural areas?
That's a great question. I think growth is inevitable, but it has to be done responsibly. Growth in Canmore should put community and wildlife at the forefront of planning and policy making. That means protecting our wildlife corridors, respecting our natural limits, and also ensuring new projects improve the quality of life for our residents. If elected, I would prioritize infill and smarter land use over sprawl so that we don't push further into the sensitive areas in our parks and neighborhoods. I think growth should never be just about adding more buildings. It should be about keeping Canmore livable, resilient, and true to its small town character.
And what strategies will you support to manage tourism so it benefits our economy without overwhelming our local infrastructure or housing availability?
Yeah, I think tourism is a big part of our economy, but it has to benefit our residents first. That means, managing effectively our short-term rentals and also spreading visitation throughout the years so that we take that strain from our infrastructure during the peak season. Also, investing those tourism dollars back into infrastructure that locals use. I also would love to see Canmore moving towards regenerative tourism, welcoming tourists who are here not only for the views and landscape, but also they value our culture, they respect our community, and they contribute to the environmental protection. I think when the tourism, gives back and doesn't take away from the community, it strengthens our community rather than overwhelming it.
Housing affordability is a hot topic here in Canmore. What solutions would you propose and support to increase the supply of affordable and workforce housing for local residents?
Housing is one of the biggest challenges, if not the biggest challenge we have in Canmore, and I think housing should be, and affordability should be the top priority for the next council. There's been some good work done around, housing in the last 4 years, and I would build on that. I would work and support expanding non-market housing in partnership with the Canmore Community Housing and other nonprofit local providers. I would also set stronger rules for short-term rentals and vacant homes so that we increase rental stock. I would also advocate for provincial and federal funding to build more, affordable units and provide more options for rentals. Another thing I would support is streamlining approval process for the new projects that add affordable units so that they move faster than the luxury developments. I think housing isn't just about building, it's about keeping Canmore livable and affordable. And the goal is very clear. The goal is that the very people who work really hard every day here, they keep Canmore running, they should be able to call this place home and afford to live here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much of Canmore's infrastructure, especially underground infrastructure beneath Main Street, water systems, and roads is aging in need of major investment. How would you prioritize investments in the roads, trails, water systems, and public transportation?
Yeah, our underground water and main street systems, have to be prioritized because they are very essential to our public health and safety. From there, I would move on to, improving, upgrading our roads and trails so that it's easily accessible for everyone in the community and so that people can navigate easily around town. And also, I would expand public transit to neighborhoods to connect them with the workplaces uh, and the downtown itself. I believe that downtown, should be a place where locals gather, celebrate, and participate in community events and activities. And every dollar that we spend, it should improve the daily life of our residents and also make our systems more sustainable long term.
Great. Speaking of downtown, what is your vision for the future of Canmore's downtown core and commercial districts over the next 10 years?
Yeah, downtown Canmore is, for me, it's the heart of Canmore, and it should always stay that way. What we could do to support that is to keep our small businesses at the center of our future planning and vision, so that it's easier for them to thrive. But also, make sure that downtown is a place for locals to gather, to participate in community events and activities so that it's not just for tourists, it's not just for tourists to pass by. Um, I also think that downtown, it always should feel like it belongs to people, to the community, and it's not just, a place for visitors. But um, that being said, it should also be a place for visitors to feel like they're welcome and they can use that space when they visit. Yeah.
So far, Canmore has been very lucky in terms of wildfires. What climate adaptation or mitigation strategies would you champion to make Canmore more resilient to wildfires, flooding, or other climate-related risks?
Climate resilience is another high priority, I would say, for our community, for our town. Um, there's also been some good work done by the current council and administration in the last few years. Around wildfire protection and flooding, wildfire prevention and flood protection. And I would build on that. I would support fire smart programs, expand fire smart programs that we currently have, and also encourage neighborhood level cleanups, maintain and build fire guards at high risk areas, and advocate for provincial and federal government for flood protection. I think incentives can also be quite effective. I would support providing incentives to our residents to retrofit their homes with energy efficiency, heat pumps, and flood proofing measures. Because these upgrades not only cut emissions and lower risk, but they also help our residents to save money. So I think the climate resilience in Canmore should mean people, homes, and the nature protected together.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about arts and culture a bit. How do you see the town supporting arts, culture, and recreational opportunities that can strengthen community life?
Arts and culture and recreation are important for our community. They are what make our community more than just a place to live. I would support local artists and ethnocultural groups so that there is more space accessible for them. And I would also invest in recreational opportunities for all ages, especially for families with kids, and grow the community festivals and ethnocultural events that celebrate our diversity. I think these measures and opportunities will help to bring our community together, create that sense of belonging, and keep our community spirit high and strong.
They say it takes a village. How will you involve residents in major decisions and make council more transparent and accountable to the community?
Accessibility matters in governance, and the more opportunities we provide for our community to participate in big decisions that matter to our town, the more they will feel their voices are heard and matters. How we can do to increase accessibility is we could provide materials in different languages so that everyone can take part in. Also hold regular town halls and listening sessions, and just making sure that it's clear for our residents to see that their input is shaping the Canmore Council's decisions. And transparency is something that shouldn't just be about publishing reports. It should be about open communication, following through, and building that trust so that people feel their voices matter.
Being new to this platform, tell us one thing about you that you want the public to know.
I've lived in Canmore for over a decade, and I've worked at multiple jobs over that time. So it gives me really good understanding of some of the challenges around affordability and access. But I've also seen how our community can be strong through my volunteer work and service. So that's the lenses and experience that I would bring to town council.
Great. And tell us one issue that is particularly important to you to be worked on in the next 4 years.
Yeah, one issue that is really important to me is housing and affordability. I think it's very clear that the very people who keep Canmore running, that they work every day hard in this community, they should be able to afford to live here. They should be able to call this place home. Otherwise, we will risk losing our community and eventually become a bedroom community. So yes, I think housing and affordability is number one issue for me.
Great. Thank you, Javan, for being here today.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.
Thank
You can see all the candidates' interviews on our YouTube channel, CanmoreAlberta.com, and you can learn more about the candidates at the upcoming forums. A full schedule is on the Town of Canmore website, but don't forget to vote on October 20th. Thank you.